I'm so surprised. Oh my goodness, the Vancouver Canucks just beat the Calgary Flames 5-2, and I sound pretty tame right now. You can hear that. There's a little bit of a calming aura in everything that comes out of my mouth right now, but don't get me wrong. I was hyped as heck during this game, man. My goodness, Elias Pettersson with 2 points, a goal and an assist. The first goal of the season scored by Elias Pettersson. Oh, I can't even, saying that slowly with the Swedish accent, that's not even really Swedish because I'm not Swedish and I can't really do a Swedish accent. It sucks, but my God. Okay. Vancouver Canucks started this one pretty terribly because the first big moment that everybody had their eyes on was, what the heck did you just do, Erik Goodbranson? Why did you hit Dylan Dubé? What? Dylan Dubé didn't have the puck. He's like a less than 6 foot tall rookie coming into the league. Just a huge interference, big hit by Goodbranson on Dubé. Everybody in Canucks Nation on Twitter's like, oh my God, what? What was that? What was that? First 2-minute power play for the Calgary Flames, okay. And then immediately after Goodbranson gets out of the box, Hamonic comes over and he fights him. And don't get me wrong, Goodbranson absolutely destroys Hamonic. That was cool. But you know what was not really cool? The fact that the fight happened right when Elias Pettersson had the puck in the Calgary zone, and he was dipsy-doodling, dangling through guys, and then all of a sudden he's heading towards the net, and then the whistle blows, and everybody's like, what happened? And it goes on to Goodbranson, and it's like, oh my God, he's beating the heck out of somebody. Why? Ah, man. That was just such a bad placement of time for a fight. And everybody was like, yo, man, Goodbranson, what are you doing? There's 7 minutes of penalty time in the first 5 minutes of the game. What? And, you know, you could say, yeah, Hamonic came over to Goodbranson, and he asked him for the fight, and he got the fight. It's just very unfortunate the way things were panned out in regards to timing. Later on in the period, Erik Goodbranson gets another penalty, but let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the goal. The goal. Elias Pettersson, on a 2-on-1, looks over to his man on the other side, Derek Pouliot, I believe. He looks over, and he's like, yeah, I'm looking at you, Pouliot. My eye contact is on point right now. But he doesn't really pass it. He doesn't pass it. He walks right in, and he rips it up short side above the glove of Smith. And that is the first goal of the season. That is the first goal of Elias Pettersson's NHL career. That is the first goal of the game. And everybody is hyped. Absolutely hyped. I'm looking at this. I screamed. And it wasn't pretty. My own personal experience in real life watching this goal. But the goal itself was very pretty. And everybody was posting about it. It was on all the highlights. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. 1 point, 1 goal, Elias Pettersson, assisted by Eriksson and Goldobin, his line mates, who honestly had a pretty strong game, I'm not gonna lie. Going into the third period, because there were no goals scored in the second period, Elias Pettersson sets up Goldobin in front. Just an absolute bomb of a play, a bomb of a pass right in front of the slot. That's kind of a lie. It wasn't a bomb of a pass. It wasn't really that quick. It was just like out of nowhere. He just like slipped it over to Goldobin on the open side, scores, Goldobin is hyped, Pettersson with his second point of the game, absolutely awesome. Then just like seconds later, Brendan Leipsic gets one off of a really good tip in front. Beagle tips it on net, big rebound, open cage, Leipsic scores, Goodbranson gets an assist on that one. Then Matthew Tkachuk gets himself a goal on a really tight angle, a slow shot too, like this was just a whiff on the puck. It goes in, hits like a Canuck in front, I want to say. It might have, I don't know, could have been like Stetcher or something, I have no idea, but really awkwardly placed goal, but still a goal nonetheless for Matthew Tkachuk. Then Jake Virtanen takes a penalty, he's in the box, Canucks PKers kick it off with another successful kill, and we'll talk about the PKers in a little bit, but Virtanen, as he steps out of the box, finds himself back into the midst of things, in the middle of the play. Vancouver Canucks find it, Sutter flips it out, Virtanen beats out the Calgary man for the puck, comes in, dekes it, And my gosh, just a slip through the 5-hole is enough for Virtanen's first of the season. Absolutely phenomenal. Sean Monahan then gets another one for the Calgary Flames. A lot of cycling going on in front of the net of Vancouver's defensive zone. Markstrom gets a few lucky ones here and there. The puck goes wide once in a while, but it comes out once more, and Monahan buries it. That was just unfortunate. I was watching that. I was like, okay, yeah, Markstrom, you were fine, bud. And then Tyler Motte seals things up with an empty netter later in the game. Absolutely deserved it. Tyler Motte was amazing. Let's talk about the penalty kill. The Calgary Flames had 7 power play opportunities in this game. You could talk about the validity of some of those penalties for sure, but the fact is they scored on none of them. And the Vancouver Canucks penalty killers honestly looked so on point tonight. You could say that there were a few chances where the Calgary Flames should have scored, but they didn't. That's kind of true. They probably should have scored in a few of those. There were a lot of opportunities that went their way but didn't go into the net, but that's just the way the clock turned. The Vancouver Canucks got, you could say it was lucky on the penalty kill, but you can't deny the fact that they did kill off 7 in a row. Really good work done by the Vancouver penalty killers. On the other hand, though, the Vancouver power players, they looked kind of flipped based off of what I would have expected. The first power play unit was on the second portion of the power play, and they honestly looked kind of weak. It wasn't really all that cohesive, in my opinion. The second power play unit, with Derek Pouliot as the only defenseman, Goldobin, Leipzig, Granlund, and Louis Eriksson, this was the good one. They had a lot of passing plays going on, they kept the puck in a miraculous amount of times, and they honestly had such a good vibe going on in the offensive zone. The first unit with Besser, Horvat, Berchi, Pettersson, and Edler just wasn't really clicking all too well. And things could have been a little bit different had Brock Besser shot the puck more. There was one moment in particular where he was just holding onto it with a lot of open space, and instead of shooting it, he tried feeding it through 3 Calgary guys over to Pettersson for a one-timer. There were a few moments in this game where I was like, Besser, just shoot it more, but he didn't really do it. On the other hand, though, Pettersson did look very, very good. Speaking of other guys who look very good, I honestly want to say Markstrom, because Markstrom was just in there all night long, stopping pucks. The ones that went in were in the third period and were not really all that savable, but in the opportunities where Markstrom really did need to show up, he absolutely did. I have not been as confident in a goalie as I have been in Markstrom as this game went on. And the preseason wasn't really good. We'll establish that right now. But the fact that the Vancouver Canucks scored 7 goals in the preseason, I believe it was like 7 or 8, something like that. I think it was 7. And they scored 5 goals here. It's just so refreshing. And I was watching this game like, whoa, we're actually getting goals. That's amazing. Pettersson with 1 goal in this game. Whoa, my mind is absolutely blown. And I don't know if I could have asked for a better first game. Eric Goodbranson kind of did improve himself as the game went on. He had some bad penalty trouble to start things off, but on the penalty kill, he really redeemed himself. And honestly, there were a few things that the Canucks could have done a little bit better, but for the most part, they worked really hard. And the Calgary Flames just weren't in a position to capitalize on their 35 shots on net. Markstrom was pretty solid in there. The penalty killers for the Canucks were all up in the Calgary power player's face, just all over the place, and it was totally an overwhelming experience for a Canucks fan because I am not used to this. I'm used to that preseason Canucks team. This is what a team looks like without Sam Gagner and with Tyler Motte in the lineup. This is what a team with Goldobin, Leipzig, Virtanen, Pettersson, Horvat, and Besser looks like. It's awesome! And on the subject of Besser and Horvat, there was a few moments where I was like, yeah, no, this is great. The chemistry they got is unbelievable, but their flow in this game just wasn't necessarily the strongest. I think that Horvat and Besser didn't have the best games that they could have asked for. Guys like Goldobin and Pettersson and, honestly, Tyler Motte. They had fantastic first games. They couldn't have had any better first games than this one. But guys like Besser and Horvat, I think they could have had a little bit of a better game. They didn't look necessarily like the players that we would have expected them to be. Maybe that's just me putting too high of an expectation on them, but overall, like, the team, they won, right? So who am I to sit here and talk about players who I think should have been better? They won, and Pettersson got 2 points. He's in the Calder race, everybody. I'm absolutely mind blown. Troy Stecher was an absolute beast. He looked fantastic in this game. Taking the puck in, keeping the puck out, he was just everywhere. And honestly, it was so refreshing to be able to see Troy Stecher in such a successful role on this decor. I'm looking forward to that as the season goes on. So, that's it. That was the first game of the season. I talked about a lot of things here, but overall, the team looked solid. And you could say, oh, it's because the Flames haven't won a game in the first game of the season since like 2009. This is just their luck coming up. Please, man, shut up. I just want to have my happiness here. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is British Plus Gaming, and bye.